Alyssa Milano, who, by the way, has been a guest on Rising, had a unique idea for a response to restrictive anti-abortion laws that are being passed across the country. A sex strike. On Friday, the women's rights activist and former Who's the Boss and Charmed star tweeted out her call to action with a tweet saying, quote, "Our reproductive rights are being erased until women have legal control over our own bodies. We cannot risk pregnancy. Join me by not having sex until we get bodily autonomy. I'm calling for a hashtag sex strike. Pass it on." Some women did support Milano's strike on Twitter, but a lot of people found the suggestion somewhat risible. Writer and communications consultant Jamila Lemieux offered a pair of rebuttal responses to Milano, saying, "Don't go on sex strike. Go on strike from all the people in your life who don't support reproductive freedom. You shouldn't be letting someone like that inside your body under any circumstances anyway." Fair point. Writer Christy Coulter had a slightly more serious take on the idea, telling Milano, "Living under patriarchy has already robbed me of safety, autonomy, opportunities, and trust in our institutions. Now I'm supposed to give up sex too and play into the fiction that it's just a bargaining chip transaction for women? Love you, but nope." Milano seemed to respond to some of the backlash to her sex strike suggestion on Saturday. She tweeted, "We can love sex and fight for our bodily autonomy. There are lots of alternatives to cis men." What do you think, Saagar?
I've got a lot of thoughts, but not for the air.
Really? Come on, it's the internet.
Even if you accept this premise, the idea that sex is something that you withhold from men and it's not an equal thing that people enter into is actually one of the more anti-feminist.
It's very archaic thinking.
Ideas and everything. It actually plays into much of the patriarchal thinking that I have been told is part of male and female or toxic masculinity. And so, I mean, look, is it surprising to me that she's uninformed and doing something ridiculous on the internet? No. I think it's sad that it's caught on with a significant group of people.
I don't think
but
it
the
has.
backlash,
She's
the
getting dragged
backlash
pretty hard on this.
seems to be heartening.
I mean, look, let me say that I admire anyone who puts themselves out in the public square, tries to make a change for the better, offers out their ideas, right? I will take that person over the person that stays quiet or just does the Twitter bashing any day. And we should also say that sex strikes do have a long and somewhat successful history. I looked back. Most people think of there was an ancient Greek play where women withheld sex to end a war. That was just a play. But in real life, you had in 2003, I did some quick sex strike research before this segment.
Here we go.
A sex strike helped to end Liberia's civil war. In Colombia, 2006, women went on sex strike in a very dangerous city where there was a very high murder rate. The murder rate dropped 26%. So they have worked. However, I 100% agree. It plays into this whole notion that women only get power basically through sex.
Yeah.
And that's problematic. So no, sorry, Alyssa Milano.
Well, today I learned. So.
Guns N' Roses has no patience for Colorado brewery Oskar Blues. The band has filed a trademark infringement lawsuit claiming the beer maker has been profiting off the group's name. The band argues that customers may confuse the brewery's Guns N' Roses ale with the band. That's amazing. And assume the two are affiliated. Guns N' Roses seeks a court order to stop Oskar Blues from misappropriating its name. The band also wants the brewery's similarly themed merchandise destroyed, as well as a monetary award, including the profits from that beer. Last August, Oskar Blues applied for a trademark on the Guns N' Roses name, but abandoned the application after the band complained. But don't cry just yet, craft beer and hair metal enthusiasts. According to the lawsuit, the brewery is still selling the hibiscus and prickly pear flavored brew, so if you act fast, you can still try the beer before it's only available in Paradise City. See what we did there, Saagar? Do you understand any of that? You're so young. I grew up on Guns N' Roses. My sister was such a fan. My kids are actually into Guns N' Roses. The friendlier songs. Some of their songs are really horrible.
I played it on Guitar Hero, so that's my.
The ballads. I mean, the ballads made it into the 90s. Yeah, there was some good stuff there. It's hysterical that they're now associated with rosé, though.
Well, we're tracking that story very closely.
Have you tried that? Have you seen it?
Guns N' Roses? No, never.
No.
I have tried rosé in a can, which is pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Highly recommend.
I'm going to try it, and I'll get back to you with more updates.
All right, so NASA announced last week that its Spitzer Space Telescope has revealed new clues about how ancient galaxies lit up the universe. A new study published recently in the monthly notice of the Royal Astronomical Society sheds new light on a major cosmic event called the Epoch of Reionization. So the event transformed the universe from being mostly darkness to the shining starscape that we see today. Researchers report that the universe's earliest galaxies were actually much brighter than expected, and that excess light was the byproduct of high amounts of ionizing radiation that galaxies emitted. So the data from the new study shows that in a few specific wavelengths of infrared light, the galaxies were considerably brighter than the scientists had previously thought, and it's the first study to actually confirm this across a large sampling of galaxies from this period, and shows that even average galaxies present at that time were much brighter in these wavelengths than the galaxies that we see today.
What does that mean, and why does this matter?
No idea. But it's interesting. I will find anything about space. I'll read it. I'll find it interesting, especially early human development and the interactions with the stars. I think it's just absolutely fascinating.
Agree.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Tomorrow on Rising, thousands of miners are at risk of losing their pensions if lawmakers don't act. The president of United Mine Worker of America joins us to explain more.
And one D.C. rapper's quest to ensure that the city's long-term residents aren't left behind in the city's housing boom. How what's happening in the nation's capital is really happening across the country. That's going to be an interesting one. Have a fabulous day. We will see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.